Imagine scrolling through your phone, heart racing, when a message pops up from a stranger. Hey, that's my husband you're dating. My world shattered in that instant. But what came next? A revenge so petty and perfect it turned his favorite cheesy song into his worst nightmare. Stick around because this cheater got served karma on a platter. Hey, everyone, if you ever felt that burning sting of betrayal and fantasized about flipping the script, you're in the right place. These Reddit revenge stories are all about reclaiming your power and watching justice unfold. If this sounds like your vibe, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a dose of sweet karma. Let's dive in. It started like any other relationship: charming smiles, late night texts, and that butterflies in your stomach feeling that makes you ignore the red flags. I met Alex at the gym, where he'd flash that confident grin while spotting me on weights. He told me he was fresh out of a marriage papers in process, just waiting on the divorce to finalize. She's history. He'd say, his voice smooth as silk. I believed him. Why wouldn't I? We laughed over coffee, shared dreams about the future. And for a few months it felt real, but one evening as I lounged on my couch with a glass of wine, my phone buzzed with a DM from an unknown profile. The message hit like a slap. Hi, I think you're dating my husband. He's not separated. We're still married. My stomach dropped, the wine turning sour in my mouth. I stared at the screen, fingers trembling as I typed back. Her name was Lavra, and she wasn't just hurt. She was furious. Turns out this wasn't Alex's first rodeo. He'd pulled the same lies on other women before, juggling secrets like a pro. The injustice boiled inside me. How dare he play with our hearts like toys? I paced my living room, the clock ticking louder than usual, feeling that powerless rage that makes your chest tighten. At first, I tried to confront him gently, hoping for some shred of honesty. Over dinner that night, I casually mentioned getting a weird message. His fork paused midair, eyes flickering with that fake confusion. Must be a prank, babe. You know how crazy people are online? He laughed it off, pulling me into a hug that suddenly felt too tight, too possessive. For a moment, I wanted to believe him, the way his hand brushed my hair, promising everything was fine. False hope crept in. Maybe it was a misunderstanding, but deep down, my gut twisted, whispering that he was lying through his teeth. Next day, Lara and I connected over a video call. Her face on the screen mirrored my own, tired eyes clenched. Jaw that shared spark of betrayal. She spilled everything: years of his manipulation, the late nights he claimed were work, the gaslighting that made her doubt her own sanity. Alex wasn't some cartoon villain twirling a mustache. He was worse, arrogant, enough to think he could control the narrative, hypocritical and preaching loyalty while sneaking around, and manipulative with those half smiles that hid his deceit. Hearing her stories, I felt the frustration morph into something sharper, a craving for justice that pulsed like a headache. We weren't just victims. We were women who'd been disrespected, and that universal fire, the one that says enough, ignited between us. That's when the breaking point hit. I slammed my laptop shut after yet another evasive text from him, my reflection in the window showing gritted teeth and flushed cheeks. No more playing nice. I needed to make him feel the paranoia he'd inflicted on us. Enter the Mambo No. 5 plan, planning it out. With Lara felt like a secret mission, our whispers over encrypted chats, building the suspense. I downloaded virtual ESIM apps, creating fake phone numbers faster than I could brew coffee, each one tied to a new profile: Monica on Facebook, Erica on Instagram, Rita on Snapchat, and so on. My heart raced as I crafted the messages, adapting those cheesy lyrics into toxic little bombs. They had to sound real flirty, needy, hinting at secrets without screaming fake. I imagined his face, paling as they trickled in one by one in a jumbled order to keep him off balance. First up was Monica. I need you in my life. Simple, but it landed like a whisper in the dark. I hit send, a smirk creeping across my face despite the knot in my stomach. Doubt flickered. What if he caught on? What if this backfired? But Laura's encouragement pushed me forward. We've got this, make him sweat. We coordinated like pros. She'd accidentally spot a notification while borrowing his. Phone for directions, her voice dripping with feigned innocence. Who's Erica? Sounds intimate. Over the weeks, the escalation was deliciously tense. Rita's message. You're all I need to be happy. He'd shift uncomfortably on the couch when I'd asked to check the time on his phone, his grip tightening like he was holding onto a lifeline. Nothing, just spam. He'd mutter, but his voice cracked, that arrogant facade crumbling. Tina, I know it's complicated, but I only have eyes for you. Lara took her turn confronting him over breakfast. Tina? Really, Alex? The fear in his eyes was priceless, darting glances, forced laughs that sounded hollow in the quiet. Kitchen Sandra's gym reference. I miss seeing you in the gym. Why don't you train anymore? Hope it's not 'cause of our post-workout sessions. He'd stopped going paranoia, keeping him home pacing like a caged animal. Mary, when you coming for another sleepover? Jessica, I'm here if you need to talk. We mixed them up platforms, jumping from app to app, making it seem like a web of separate affairs. He never pieced it together, too busy deleting and denying every time I'd discover. One feigning shock with wide eyes and a trembling voice. The tension ratcheted up, his manipulative charm turned desperate. He begged for trust, but his hypocrisy shone through, preaching fidelity. While his phone buzzed with our ghosts, the false calm shattered when he doubled down, accusing us of jealousy. But that only fueled our resolve. After weeks of this psychological chess game, Lara had her ducks in a row. Lawyer, hired assets sorted, escape plan solid. We timed the finale perfectly. One final message barrage, then the double dump I confronted. Him in person, phone in hand, listing the women like a roll call of his sins. His face strained of color, mouth opening and closing in disbelief, that arrogant mask shattering into humiliated fury. This isn't real. You're crazy. He sputtered. But the evidence was undeniable. Laura called right then, her voice steady over speaker. We're done, Alex, both of us. He collapsed onto the couch, hands shaking, the manipulator reduced to a pleading mess. The relief washed over me like cool rain, triumph surging as I walked out, head high, the weight of betrayal lifting in the end. This revenge wasn't just petty fun. It was about reclaiming the power he'd stolen, turning his games against him. Karma doesn't always come easy, but when it does, it's a reminder justice tastes sweetest when served cold. Whoa, what a ride. If the story had you cheering for that epic takedown, drop a like, subscribe for more. Reddit revenge gems, and hit the bell in the comments. Spill. What's the most creative revenge you've pulled or witnessed? Let's keep the karma flowing. See you in the next one.